Have you ever been in the middle of a great conversation with a woman when she suddenly drops a phrase that makes your heart race, but also makes you second guess everything? Maybe she leans in close and says, "You're bad." Or she whispers, "I probably shouldn't say this." Yet instead of feeling sure of yourself, you freeze. You wonder, is this a test? Is she just being polite? Am I about to embarrass myself? This uncertainty is what keeps so many men stuck in hesitation, missing moment after moment when a woman is practically inviting them to take the lead. The fear of overstepping, the worry about looking arrogant, the doubt that chips away at your confidence until you do nothing at all. But it doesn't have to be that way. Today, I'm going to reveal 6 powerful, scientifically backed phrases women use when they want you to move things forward. You'll finally decode what she's really telling you, respond with natural confidence, and create the kind of connection that doesn't rely on guesswork. Remember this, judging others yields absolutely no improvement. Mindfulness always takes real awareness. Navigating social changes requires intentional persistence too. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to act when she gives you these subtle but unmistakable signals. And you'll never have to wonder what if again. Imagine you're sitting across from her at a dimly lit wine bar. She leans in, her voice low, and murmurs, "I don't usually do this." At that moment, most men panic. They start over-explaining, reassuring her, or worse, questioning her intentions. But here's the truth, this phrase is a disclaimer. It's her way of giving herself permission to act on her desire while preserving her sense of dignity. When she says, "I don't usually do this," she's communicating that she feels something compelling enough to step outside her own rules. She wants you to understand that this isn't casual, it's significant. And she's hoping you won't make her regret taking the risk. Picture this. You hear her say it, and instead of shrinking back or interrogating her motives, you hold her gaze calmly. You lean in just enough to close the space and say, "Good, let's see where this goes." No judgment, no hesitation, just quiet confidence. This is important because the moment you accept her vulnerability without fuss, you validate her attraction and create a safe space for connection. Just overthinking yields avoidance. New ideas make actions. Thoughtful reflection allows natural strength. Clarity really improves persistence today. Remember, when she shares this phrase, she's handing you a green light. It's up to you to move forward with steady, assured energy. She looks at you with wide eyes, maybe a little flush on her cheeks, and says, "This is so unlike me." In that instant, she's revealing a tug of war happening inside her mind. This phrase signals cognitive dissonance. She feels drawn to you in a way that disrupts her usual patterns, her plans, maybe even her principles. Most men hear these words and immediately start offering disclaimers of their own. They slip into awkward apologies or start minimizing the moment to make her feel comfortable. But that's not what she wants. When she tells you, "This is so unlike me," she's inviting you to be the steady force that makes her feel safe crossing that invisible line. Imagine this scenario. You're on a rooftop, city lights flickering below, and she whispers it as she edges a little closer. Instead of fumbling for reassurance, you smile slowly and say, "I like that." Then you let the silence do the work. No overanalysis, no nervous chatter, just presence. The significance of this moment can't be overstated. She's not just telling you she's stepping out of character. She's showing you she's willing to bend her own rules because the connection feels real. When you stay centered, you prove that you can hold space for her uncertainty and her desire all at once. That calm confidence, it's magnetic. Always remember, when she shows her vulnerability, she's not asking you to rescue her from it. She's asking you to meet her there with composure, curiosity, and the quiet strength she won't find in most men. She tilts her head, a playful glint in her eye, and says with a half smile, "You're bad." To the untrained ear, this sounds like an accusation, a little jab. But look closer. This phrase is a teasing mask for her attraction. It's a way of saying, you're stirring something in me I didn't expect. Most men hear this and get defensive or self-deprecating. They laugh it off nervously or start explaining why they're really a nice guy. But that response kills the tension she's creating. When she says you're bad, she's testing your frame. She wants to see if you can handle the heat she's throwing your way. Picture this. You're sitting side by side in a booth. She leans in, her perfume just brushing your senses, and delivers the line. Instead of deflecting, you lock eyes and let a slow grin spread across your face. You reply, maybe. But you seem to like it. You hold her gaze. You don't apologize. The significance of this phrase is enormous. She's playfully acknowledging that you're affecting her, and she wants to see if you can own that power without flinching. When you respond with unshakable ease, you show her you're the man who won't crumble under the weight of attraction. Remember this, she doesn't want to be the only one feeling vulnerable. She wants to see that you can hold your ground, that you can tease back, that you won't retreat into self-doubt. That's how you turn her playful accusation into a deeper, electric connection. Her lips curl into a mischievous smile as she leans just a little too close and purrs, "You're trouble, aren't you?" This isn't a rhetorical question. It's a subconscious confession that she feels undeniable chemistry, and she's trying to maintain the illusion of control. Most men fumble this moment by rushing to assure her that they're safe and predictable. But when you do that, you dissolve the playful tension she's creating. This phrase isn't meant to be neutralized. It's an invitation to lean into the spark. Picture this. You're walking side by side, the night air cool around you. She glances over, her eyes locked on yours, and delivers the line. Instead of protesting, you give a calm grin and say, "Only if you can't handle it." That single sentence flips the script. You're not chasing her approval. You're showing her that you're comfortable with a little unpredictability. This phrase matters because it's her way of testing whether you can be both stable and exciting. She wants to know that you won't fall apart when the stakes feel real. She wants to feel that subtle edge of thrill without fearing you'll lose your composure. When you respond with quiet confidence, you communicate that you can be the man who balances adventure with grounded presence. And that combination is what makes you irresistible. Remember, she doesn't want to dismantle the chemistry. She wants you to match it with your own certainty. That's how you build a connection that feels lame and electric. She takes a slow breath, her eyes darting away before she looks back at you and says, "I probably shouldn't say this, but..." In that instant, she's standing on the edge of revealing something real, something she's been holding back. This phrase is her way of testing whether you can handle the truth behind her curiosity or desire. Most men kill this moment by jumping in with reassurance or trying to guess what she's about to say. They rush to fill the silence, unknowingly stripping away the tension that makes this moment powerful. But when she says, "I probably shouldn't say this," she doesn't want you to save her from her own words. She wants you to give her the space to step into her vulnerability. Picture this. You're sitting across from her, the conversation winding into deeper territory. Her voice drops, her shoulders shift, and she whispers the phrase. Instead of filling the pause, you hold her gaze and nod slowly, silently giving her permission to continue. The significance of this moment is immense. She's not simply testing your interest. She's probing to see if you're the man who can stay calm while she opens up. If you meet her uncertainty with steadiness, you show her that nothing she says will shake your grounded confidence. Remember, this is your cue to demonstrate emotional maturity. Let her speak. Let her reveal whatever thought or feeling she's been holding back. When you resist the urge to jump in or deflect, you create a space where trust and attraction can grow without effort. Never forget, her willingness to be vulnerable is your opportunity to deepen the connection. When you answer with presence instead of panic, you prove you're a man worth trusting. She leans back just enough to study you, her eyes narrowed in playful suspicion, and she asks, "Are you always like this with girls?" This question isn't casual. It's an exposure test, a way to gauge if the connection she feels is real or just another line you've practiced. Most men stumble here. They rush to insist, "No, you're special," or start qualifying themselves, desperate to prove their sincerity, but in doing so, they give away their power. Because this phrase is not about needing reassurance, it's about seeing whether you have the self-assuredness to hold a little tension. Imagine this. You're sitting close, her perfume warm in the air between you, and she delivers the line with a sly smirk. Instead of defending yourself, you let your eyes lock onto hers and say, "Maybe," but you're making it feel different. You don't deny the energy, you just let her know that she has to earn the part of you that no one else gets. The power of this phrase is profound. She wants to feel like the exception, but she also wants to know that you have options, that you're not grasping at any attention you can get. When you answer with playful composure, you show her you're neither threatened by her curiosity nor eager to convince her of your worth. This is how attraction deepens, not by pandering to her insecurities, but by standing calmly in your own certainty. You prove you are a man who values his time, his attention, and the unique connection unfolding between you. Remember, she doesn't want to hear that you've never felt chemistry before. She wants to see if you have the strength to enjoy it without losing yourself. That's the kind of confidence that draws her closer, again and again. Now you've seen behind the curtain. Those 6 phrases, "I don't usually do this," "This is so unlike me," "You're bad," "You're trouble, aren't you?" "I probably shouldn't say this," and "Are you always like this with girls?" They aren't harmless, throwaway lines. They're invitations, subtle, powerful signals that she wants you to lead with calm, confident energy. When you recognize these moments for what they are, you stop second-guessing yourself. You stop treating attraction like a puzzle you'll never solve. Instead, you start acting with clarity and intention. You create an authentic connection, not because you're chasing her validation, but because you trust your own presence. Imagine the difference. No more missed opportunities, no more quiet regret over what you didn't say or do. Just steady, magnetic confidence that draws her in and keeps her there. Remember this, judging others yields absolutely no improvement. Mindfulness always takes real awareness. Navigating social changes requires intentional persistence too. And when you combine awareness with action, you become the kind of man who never wonders, "What if?" again. If this video resonated with you, it's time to take the next step. You've just learned the 6 phrases that can transform how you respond to attraction. Now imagine how much more powerful you'll feel when you master every signal she gives you. And if you found this guide valuable, make sure you subscribe so you never miss another opportunity to grow. Drop a comment below. Share which phrase you've heard most often or which one you're going to handle differently next time. Remember, clarity doesn't come from waiting. It comes from choosing to see what's always been there and having the courage to act. Your next connection starts with the decision you make right now. So click, watch, and keep evolving into the man you know you can be.